decide to film next week's episode, I'm going to do one of these. Well, probably not going to do this one either. I really don't want to do that one. I'm kind of loathing it. I just knew this day was going to come. I just did. Just wish it wasn't today. By the way, folks, welcome to Reaction and Review. As you guys just saw there, a couple episodes back, I took a DVD from off the Amazon wish list that was sent in to me, and I set it off to the side, saying I was dreading doing it. Well, after a handful of people wrote in saying, you know, you have to do this one, you seriously should. Some people even going as far as to name the person who sent it to me, because they are not stupid. I'm going to cave into peer pressure. I'm going to get this stupid thing done just that way. If it's nearly as bad as I fear it's going to be, I can just take it outside and burn it. Tonight's film is a romantic comedy. That's red flag number one right there, romantic comedy. Starring Ellen DeGeneres. Yeah, that's another red flag. The film is called Mr. Wrong. As I stated before, I am dreading this film because I hate romantic comedies. I really do. I have yet to find a single one that was any good, but then again, that's because this sort of garbage is usually referred to as a chick flick. And if you guys have seen the kind of things that I've actually recommended in the past, chick flicks are not exactly my thing. But I have to do it. I have to get this thing over and done with, just that way I can take this disc, either snap it or sell it or do something with it. So, without further ado, folks, it's time to kick off Mr. Wrong. Oh, God, no. This whole film's being told in flashback. I normally wouldn't have a problem with that, but I just do, because it's Mr. Wrong. Just, somebody kill me, please. Okay, we are 10 minutes in. When does this shit get funny? Alright, folks. I believe that it is now official. Ellen and Bill Pullman have just had their first scene together. Actually, they're still in the middle of this god-awful scene. They have all the chemistry of oil and water. And there's still at least an hour and 20 minutes left. This is gonna fucking suck. So, prior to meeting with Bill Pullman's character, the closest thing she had to any kind of romantic happiness is when a party clown accidentally knocked on her window. I wanna know who the fuck wrote this thing so I can just beat the shit out of all of them. Because I know this thing had 3 fucking writers. I want their names. I want to beat them stupid. Oh boy, guys. Not only do we have a movie that so far is completely sucking balls, but now we're getting really shitty poetry, too. Oh, fun. Oh boy, folks. He's being edgy by stealing shitty fucking beer. Yeah. I have nothing to say. I'm gonna say this again. I want to hunt down the writers of this shit and beat them soundly. Oh my God. I used to like this song. But now, no. This movie has just corrupted a fantastic song. So, to show how much he loves her, he breaks his own finger. We don't even get to see the broken, mangled pinky just dangling off his hand. No, we don't get to see that. we do not get something that might actually brighten up this dreary, disgusting, horrible movie. And I'm not even halfway done yet. This is hell. Oh, really? They needed to use Queen. I'm going to say this one more time. Fuck every human being who worked on this goddamn movie. I'm going to start taking names and I'm going to go on a killing spree. So, we're almost an hour in. This has to be one of the only movies I've ever seen that has tried to make stalking funny. And it's failing miserably. So, let me see if I've got this straight. Let me see if I can piece this pathetic attempt at a plot together. Somehow he has completely ruined her life, and everybody wants her to go with him. I'm going to pretend that makes sense. I'm going to suffer through the last 30 minutes of this fucking thing, and then I'm going to tear it apart. I think I get it now. I think this movie was trying to go for dark comedy. But unfortunately, it's not funny. Alright, I kind of have to ask this. Because I guess this just seems almost like a plot hole to me. Why did he have to drag her out to Mexico to get married? Like, seriously, I mean, you know, couldn't he have just gotten a church in San Diego? I don't know. I guess trying to make sense of this movie is asking far too much. You know, folks, I've never been happier to see the words "The End" appear on a goddamn screen. My God, that was just a train wreck. Okay. Thank God it's over. Now, let's start with the technical aspects before I go completely psycho and tear everything else about this fucking movie apart. Cinematography and lighting were good. The soundtrack was really solid, only now I'm never going to be able to listen to those awesome songs the same way ever again. The opening credits looked kind of nice. I believe that's it for positives. Now, the acting is ridiculously wooden. The fact that our two leads here are probably the most... Oh, shit. They are probably the worst on-screen couple I have ever seen. And this is covering the entire film. This is, you know, actually covering at the start when they actually are in love with each other, and right towards the end when she thinks that she shot him, which, by all rights, I wouldn't have blamed her. Anyway, oh my God, the writing. Oh, sweet heavenly God, the writing. What writing? I'm looking on the back here. There are 3 names credited as writers, but I don't think that these 3 people actually exist. I think that Mr. Wrong is proof that if you lock 3 monkeys in a fucking room with typewriters, they'll actually get something done. And this is the end result. Now, I have a theory, guys. This is a rather sound theory. This movie came out in 1996. And Ellen came out of the closet in 1997. Frankly, I do not blame her. Because if I was in her situation, and if I had to star in something this awful, I would probably go gay too. Alright, so I do not blame her at all. I wouldn't have blamed her anyway. But still, it's like, it all makes sense. I'm going to say this, guys, right now. I normally enjoy working on these videos. I really love watching these movies because I usually stick to art house flicks, grindhouse shit, and just, you know, bad movies in general. This one is probably one of the few I've seen. I think I've only seen like one or two others that could actually be called a major studio film. This thing was released by Touchstone, and it's awful. And I'm also looking at the fucking director here. This film was directed by a man named Nick Castle. Fans of horror movies know exactly who he is. For those of you who don't know, I'm going to tell you. Nick Castle is the man who played Michael Myers in the original Halloween. I really am not a fan of Halloween, but now I hate the actor behind that mask even more because I know that he was at the helm for this sack of shit. I'm going to say this right now, guys. If I had the opportunity, I would love to meet up with the entire cast and crew of this film. I would just want to punch all of them in the face just once. I want to find Ellen. I want to find Bill Pullman. I want to find these three glorified chimps who are supposedly writers. I want to find Nick Castle. I want to find every asshole who worked on this film. I just want one stiff shot right to the face. This movie is painful. This thing is anti-comedy. Alright? I seriously am not entirely certain if it was trying to be a romantic comedy or if it was trying to be a dark comedy or if it was trying to be some bizarre mixture of both, but it fails at being anything. It fails at being a comedy. Alright? I have said this in the past, and it was mainly about Kick-Assia, but I didn't even smile once. I didn't smile, I didn't grin, I didn't chuckle. I just cringed when I heard some of my favorite songs used in this horrible fucking movie. Frankly, guys, I'm happy that I'm done with it, because now I know a place where I can sell that thing and probably get a couple of bucks for it. Now, before I go, I want to say that a couple of things. One, I am probably going to be doing another episode in a couple of days. It's probably not going to be something off of the Amazon wish list because I also have a bunch of other things I really do want to cover. So the next time you guys see me on here, I'm going to be covering a movie that, well, I downloaded a while ago. So I'm not entirely certain which one, but I kind of have a few ideas. Now, since this one came off of the Amazon wish list, as part of my policy, I have to promote the channel of the person who sent it. And I know who sent it, a lot of you know who sent it. That was sent by my good friend and stalker. Just keep that in mind. But you guys won't find him at that channel because, well, he closed it for reasons nobody knows. But he does have a new channel, and I'm going to put a link to it in this video's description. You guys just have to go over there, check it out, and please, do me a favor. Go over there and tell him to fuck off. Because that movie was quite possibly one of the shittiest things I have ever seen. I am not going to say that it was the worst, because it's going to take a lot to top Kick-Assia. But actually, it's going to take a lot to top Kick-Assia and August Underground's Mortem. Like, those there are sort of like my two absolute worst. And at least this film was decent on a technical level, but that doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. When you consider the fact that the movie is it's just a complete turd. I'm just absolutely speechless how shitty this fucking thing was. But anyway, yes, this thing was sent by my friend David. I want you guys to go over to his channel and check out all of his creepy shit as he, well, does what he does best. So, until next time, guys, oh, man, I need to go and get a fucking drink. That movie was just shit. Take care, guys. Peace.